Hi everybody, Richard Botha here. This is part of a 3 video series that we're doing just to get us started to think differently about business in this whole panic pandemic that's going on around the world. And we've looked around the world to see what other people are saying. How can we really leverage up? We looked at what Brad Sugars is saying of Action Coach. We looked at what Nielsen's research is saying. We're looking at all kinds of sources around the world, and when you distill it down, it comes down to a couple of points that you really have to focus on. Now, if you look at how quickly the world is pivoting to different business models, we have to pivot with that. And we cannot remain the same. And the one thing that we must understand is this is unprecedented that's happening at the moment. The world has not seen this, not even in the First and Second World War 100 years ago, that countries has closed their borders, flights has been suspended, trading has been suspended, and people are afraid to leave their homes. This will have a long-lasting effect on economies around the world. And the last thing that we can afford is that it affects our businesses. Small businesses, medium businesses, where there are 10, 15, 20, 100 families being dependent on that business for an income. So if you just take a moment and you think about the knock-on effect when small and medium businesses go out of business. And yes, we know that 80% of our economy is generated by small and medium businesses. The knock-on effect is that families don't have an income. They cannot spend money on themselves for basic foodstuffs, for their homes, for shelter, and all those kind of things. That's got an effect that the local stores cannot sell their products anymore. They will go out of business, and we end up with a vast majority of the population that will become destitute. And when that happens, the law of the jungle kicks in, and then we don't know what can possibly happen, because we don't know what the human race is capable of doing. We haven't seen it in 70 years, so we need to be very vigilant, and therefore we have to look at things that we can change our businesses, pivot it very quickly, so that we can keep on servicing our clients, keep on moving product, keep on moving services, so that cash flow does not become stagnant, but it keeps on flowing, and so that you can get the necessary cash flow to keep your business afloat, keep giving income to yourself first of all, and then your staff, and make sure that you survive this. The whole idea of this is to actually help you to thrive in times like this. And because we've got so many biokineticists out there, this is specifically for you, but this is basically for any kind of business out there. So let's have a look at a couple of things. We have to move to different platforms. If we have to adhere to social distancing, we have to look at other platforms. And yes, there are businesses that will absolutely skyrocket now. We can just think of the businesses that sell data, because everybody's using more data. The problem is 97% of the population will revert back to social media, because now suddenly they're not at work, or they don't have that much work, and people that don't think will revert back to social media, and social media just feeds this whole panic pandemic that's going around the world. You as a business owner have to look at how you use data, therefore your virtual presence in the market, to keep on doing business. So one of the points that Brad Sugars make is change your message. How do you change your message to your clients, to the market, to tell them that you're in business, you're ready for business, whichever way it takes to do business, what are you going to present to the market to make sure that you don't have a poverty mentality or a scarcity mentality, but come up with new ideas. Now, this is the time to really come up with new ideas, to be innovative, because economies in the world will never be the same after this. How long ever this take, if it takes 2 weeks, 2 months, and God forbid 2 years, things will never be the same. You can already see private schools pivoting to online platforms. Suddenly, the 400,000 kids in South Africa that's in private schools are being homeschooled. Things are changing. Questions will be asked after this on how this model can be implemented more, or how it can be changed. So how can you change your message into the market that you can stay in business and stay in contact? Then Action Coach talk about it, Scaling Up talk about it. What is your short-term plan? Break it up into 3 months, 90 days. What is your 3-month plan? What is your short-term, one-page strategy plan? What are you going to do to service your clients, protect your cash flow? What's the important messages that you must send out to the market? Sit down, look at what you can do, break it up into day-by-day activities that you have to do, that you have to communicate, that you can stay in contact with your clients. Yes, we have to be sensitive to the situation. People are scared out of their skulls. They don't know what's going on. They don't know what's going to happen. People talk about this magical thing called a virus. Yes, there are 85 different virus strains in the world. It kills people every year. We have to be calm about it, but we have to be very sensitive about it and deal with it sensitive and deal with people's fears in a very sensitive manner. How do you take your business virtual? If you cannot touch them physically, how do you go virtual? Mr. Delivery and those kind of services are skyrocketing because they are pivoting their business that they can exploit the situation where people don't want to travel. How can you take your business virtual? By Kineticist. How can you record exercises that you can send over WhatsApp or on the internet to your clients that they can continue having the benefit of your expertise so that they can continue to do their rehab, progress through that, and you have a client that keep on paying you hopefully and will be your client when all this blows over. Change what you are selling. You've got 4.2 million kids sitting at home at the moment. How can they do exercises? How can they stay active? They're not allowed to go to school to train for rugby or hockey or netball or whatever they're playing at the moment. So what can they do at home? How can you give something to the parents where they can give that to the kids to do something at home? You can talk to 100 parents and they will tell her that the kids are driving them mad because they're not being kept busy. Those are the kids that sit and watch TV all day, sit on YouTube and watch that kind of thing. And they're not going outside, even in their own yard, where they are safe and they can play and they can do structured exercise. How can you use your expertise to offer them that? Communicate with your clients regularly. Your high-risk patients on a daily basis or whenever you need to. You must stay top of mind for all these people, for all your clients. Contact previous patients, see if they need something that you can do over the telephone, over WhatsApp, over Skype, over Zoom, whatever platform you use, but stay in contact with them. A platform like Zoom is exploding because suddenly corporates are not taking physical meetings anymore or face-to-face meetings, they're going to Zoom. How can you use those platforms? And Zoom platform is free for 39 minutes. If you're going to tell somebody in 39 minutes what you need to tell them, maybe your message is wrong. So think about all these platforms that you can keep on communicating with all your clients. You can use a normal smartphone to record short messages that can go out. You can stay in contact, but you have to communicate with your clients. Your clients always also want to know that you're out there, that there are people out there worrying about them, caring about them, and making sure that they get the right information. In a world that's flooded with really bad information, you must be the beacon of very good information that they can use and that they can rely on every day. Right, let's look at the next point. Be positive. Remember, the virus is not the problem. The fear is the problem. People are doing strange things. I mean, we all saw the video on social media of the two women fighting over toilet paper and subsequently people buying toilet paper for the next year. That's not driven by logic, that's driven by fear. You have to be the positive voice that people hear on a regular basis about their health, their physical health, the exercises that they must do, because we all know that exercising is the one thing that clears the mind and that you can start thinking more positively. Be the most positive person. Know about economic cycles. One of my mentors, Jim Rohn, was asked by a corporate company, what do you think the next 10 years will hold? And he said, well, much like the last 10 years. There will be summer, there will be autumn, there will be winter, there will be spring, and then there will be summer again. This is probably a winter. How long this will last, we don't know. But the one thing that the last 2.5 million years has proven is that this too will pass. And we will have a spring after this. We will have a summer. Will you be the green sprout that spring up and grow and be successful after this? Because what you do now, today, tomorrow, and the day after will determine if you are that person that will be the survivor and the person where people will go to. What new products, what new delivery methods, what new ideas are you bringing to the market? You have to put some time apart. 5 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock at night, doesn't really matter. But you have to take some alone time to think. Think how you're going to pivot your business to attract more people, to service the current patients, to service previous patients that you can reach out to on whichever platform, whichever way. Even if you have to go to snail mail, which will probably break down, but you have to come up with brilliant new ideas. Share it with us all, that we can all share it with each other. If you've got an issue that you're battling to work through, post it on the forum, because when people come together, they create a mastermind, and a mastermind is the best way to solve these problems. Ask us and we'll try and answer you. If we don't have it, we'll get the experts to answer you. You have to cut back. Cut back on the expenses, cut back on the fancy dinners, but cash is king. Hang on to cash at this stage. Renegotiate everything that you are spending money at the moment, because it's important that you protect your cash and not rely on possibilities for the future. We don't know what it's going to hold. We don't know what's going to happen. So be very careful about your cash. Now, talking about cash, extend your credit as far as you can. With everybody, all the banks are still giving credit, even if you never use it, and be very careful about it. Do not go use credit to spend indiscriminately. But extend your credit as far as you can, just as that little nest egg that sits there. When this is all over, you can cancel it, you can do whatever you want to, but make sure that you've got a bit of a margin built in that you can live off. If you employ staff, you have to look at cutting some of your staff, if need be. Now remember, under the emergency situations that we're under now, things change, and in the Labour Relations Act, there is provision for that you can put people on short time, where they go on compulsory unpaid leave, and they can still claim UIF. I'm not the expert on that. Speak to your labour consultant about it, but there are mechanisms in the Act that will allow you to protect your business at this stage. You have to protect your business, and if you need to send some or all of your staff on unpaid leave, do that, but make sure that when the storm is passed, that you still have a business to go back to. Work from home. How can you work from home? How can you still execute? Use your cell phone, use your communication platforms. But if you cannot go out, how can you still manage to work from home? It is amazing how many people in an instant cross that threshold where previously they thought they can't work from home, and suddenly they find ways to work from home. In one of my businesses, we pivoted overnight to be able to get people to work from home. They work very well. What's the benefit they found in that? Suddenly people's got 2 extra hours a day because they don't sit in the traffic. They are more productive because they work in a silent environment. They're more motivated because they're not tired of traveling. And suddenly I have people working longer hours because they're working from home and they know that it's a privilege, and privilege comes with responsibilities. So think about how you can work from home. Online, deliveries, all kinds of different things that you can do. The courier companies are running flat out because suddenly people are delivering more things than what they did before. Go and think how you can do that. This is the time not to cut back on marketing, not cut back on selling. This is the time where you have to put the seeds in the ground that will sprout when this winter is over. But your message must be different. Your selling techniques must be different, because business as usual will never be the same. Business today and business a week ago is two totally different things. It is important to look at that. You have to change your onslaught on the market, but you must not cut back on your fight to do this. Look at repeat business. You have to go back to your old clients. Remember, there are three very important things: know, like, and trust. When people know you, they like you, they will trust you. If they've done business with you previously successfully, they will come back to you. You will be the first choice. But you must remind them, people's got short attention spans. You have to remind them that you're still in business, that you're still rendering a service, that you can help them, that you're innovative on the platforms that you use. They have to remember about you. When you tell people that you're still in business, you trigger thoughts, you trigger decisions, and you trigger the memory to say, but previously they helped me, they will be able to help me as well. But people tend to forget very, very quickly. So be careful and make sure that you go after that repeat business. Then leadership. Leadership starts with leadership of one. You have to get up every morning, motivate yourself, lead yourself, make sure that you stick to your good morning routine. Become a member of the 5 a.m. club and make sure that you drive yourself, because by driving yourself, you will be able to drive your staff members that's still working for you. Keep up your motivation and show the market that you are one of them. Leadership is about influence. Nothing more, nothing less. But the major task of a leader is to create reality. You must lead through reality. First, for yourself. Tell yourself what is real and what is fake. You must lead yourself first before you can lead other people. If you've got staff, you have to tell them what's reality. What's your situation with cash flow? You don't have to give them the details. But what is the reality about cash flow? Are you going to be able to pay them or not? What must their performance like be in order to bring it in? They cannot sit in a stew of self-pity and fear and think that the cash will be there automatically. You have to lead them. Lead them like the strong leader that you're supposed to be. But you have to lead yourself first. The leader must be seen out there. You cannot hide away in your house, on your farm, or in the club. You have to be out there. Speak to people. Send them videos. They must know that you're not afraid, that you are there to do things for them, and that you're there to serve them. You have to be out there selling. Selling yourself, selling your product, selling your services. People must know that you're alive. People must know that you are there to lead them. And then lastly, take care of your existing customers. Your existing customers is your best shot at keeping your business afloat, growing it in this time, and thriving. This is an opportunity to grow. Grow as a person, grow as a business. Please remember, in the Big Depression from 1929 to 1933, 9 billionaire families was created out of the Depression. Now understand, $1 billion in 1929 and $1 billion today is not exactly the same. So vast fortunes were created in the worst time that the world has ever seen. It lasted for 5 years. We are not looking at it at the moment. But this is a time of growth. This is a time to be innovative. This is a time that you can stand out from the crowd. And by all means, protect yourself, protect your family, and protect your business. We will be posting more practical ideas So keep on looking for this. Subscribe to this channel so that you can get information. We'll be interviewing experts in this time. So keep an eye out for the videos so that you can benefit from the knowledge of others. Thank you.